سلاما تاما على سيدنا محمد الذي تنحل به العقدة وتنفرج به الكربة وتقضى به الأوائج وتنال به رقائبه وحسن القواتم ويستحق القمام بوجه الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه في كل لمعة والنفس بعد كل محرم لك بحرمة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أخلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق المقدار عظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Imam Jao. Shall we continue in prayer with Pastor Francis Forbes of the Abiding Word Ministries?
Let us pray. Our precious and most merciful Father and our Almighty God, we gather here today 4 years after this project and intervention started, gathering here to say thank you for the grace, thank you for the strength, thank you for the journey, and now thank you for the outcomes. We take cognizance of all whom you have used, bilateral, international, domestic, and thank you for everybody's input, recognizing that beyond their input, your grace and your good hand has steered it all. Thank you for the noble objectives to keep our nation out of the group of so-called fragile states in the ECOWAS region, giving us real, genuine, home-owned stability and peace for progress and prosperity. We're grateful for the young people in particular whose lives have been impacted, and we continue to pray that going forward, they will own that which has been imparted into their lives and look inward for growth, for self-actualization, and for a sense of patriotism in all that they do. And be a part of the chain reaction, change agent protocol for succeeding generations for the peace and continued stability of this country. We are grateful for all who have come on board to put this together. And we come now to say thank you as it closes and as the handing over continues. And I pray particularly that no other intervention would have to come again to reinvent the wheel. Guide our country, guide our people, and arm us with a sense that when we own it, it makes a better and lasting difference than when it's an external help. I make this prayer in the name, the power, the authority of the name of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. And may God answer all our prayers this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, invited guests, can we please be upstanding for the national anthem of the Republic of the Gambia by the Gambia Police Band, headed here today by Sub-Inspector Alaji Baji. please be seated. Thank you very much. Gambia Police Band, led by Sub-Inspector Alaji Baji. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will go into the ceremonies proper. But before we do, we'd like to make this announcement that KBJ conferences are leading the translations this morning. And on channel 1, on the devices that you have in front of you, channel 1 is English. Channel 2 is Mandinka. Channel 3 is Wolof. mbokk yi gannaaw bu ñu leen nuyoo dalal leen fii di leen yëgal ne li ngeen gis noonu seen kanam amee headphone yi mooy liy làppatoo làkk yi ñoo làkk fii tey ne channel 1 bu njëkk bi mooy anglais bi ci topp di channel 2 mooy soose benn bi ci topp mooy channel 3 ñuy làppatoo wolof ku fi nekk koo xam ne dégguwuloo anglais waaye bëgg ngaa dégg lu ñoo wax boo nekkee soose dangaa def channel 2 muy mandinka wala boo nekkee wolof nga def channel 3 muy wolof mbaadiŋol kondondiroo koolaa mbaal be salaamu la mbaal jiyaala jang nsa faale ko KBJ conferences wol leba kanna soro kala jam bi wo kanna soro channel 1 wolom ñing headphone wol min mbaal ñaatili wala wolom angale kaŋoti channel 1 momo mandinkote wala kam moy laati channel 2 wolom itati min musurwaati channel 3 wolom itati comme ça ni moba angale kan fola duyima moy mu mandinkoti isita channel 2 pour isa moy ba min foka ni angale kan wala wala ma nafaati ala baraka. To get into the ceremonies proper, the welcome remarks will be delivered by Ulrike Ebeling, Country Director of GIZ, Senegal, the Gambia, and Cape Verde. Ulrike Ebeling is the Country Director for GIZ, Senegal, the Gambia, and Cape Verde since 2021. In this position, she is responsible for all operations of GIZ in the 3 respective countries. She is overseeing the work of approximately 400 national and international staff, mainly in the following thematic areas: private sector development and job creation, governance and social cohesion, climate change and renewable energies, pharmaceutical sector, and health. Prior to this position, she served as GIZ Country Director in Mongolia and Mauritania, as well as Portfolio Manager in India. She also held several positions in GIZ head office in Germany between 2016 and 2021. She was head of the division commissioning parties in Berlin, liaising with all German ministries and different international organizations to establish GIZ as an implementing agency for international cooperation in different sectors. Ulrike Ebeling holds a master's degree in political sciences from the Free University in Berlin in Germany. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the welcome remarks by Ulrike Ebeling.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Your Excellency, Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister of Finance of the Gambia, Your Excellency, Resident Representative of ECOWAS based in Gambia, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Germany, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, heads of departments and agencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, dear partners, colleagues, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a symbolic moment that brings us together here in the Gambia for the closing event to acknowledge and celebrate the successful implementation of the technical cooperation under the ECOWAS Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development, FRSD, financed by the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development and implemented by GIZ. I would like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to open this ceremony today alongside this distinguished panel. As Regional Director of GIZ to the Gambia, Senegal and Cabo Verde, I would like to begin by thanking the Gambian authorities who have made the implementation of this cooperation possible. The FRSD in the Gambia is part of a larger portfolio of regional and global projects that GIZ implements for the German Development Cooperation and the European Union. Important lessons for our portfolio have and will surely continue to be drawn from the efforts and results of the FRSD program. Following the democratic change in government in the Gambia and recognizing the need for sustained stability, ECOWAS made the strategic decision to support the Gambia's government by implementing stabilization measures under the FRSD, the fund. The Gambia pilot project has been running in the Gambia since 2019. With a geographical focus on the Lower River region, Upper River region, and Greater Banjul area, more than 6,000 young people, including migrant returnees, have been supported to improve their access to employment. 50% of the young Gambians we have worked with are women. Needs analysis revealed that women, young people, and marginalized groups such as migrant returnees are among the most affected by food insecurity, particularly in rural areas. These groups were particularly targeted through interventions carried out by the program. By prioritizing the value chains of poultry, fishery, and horticulture, the pilot phase succeeded in improving employment opportunities and enhancing living conditions in the region I just named. We had the chance to visit yesterday project sites, the Katong and Gunja fish landing sites, and we were very impressed by the positive impact of the project. The use of innovative equipment like solar dryers for fish processing and new ovens for efficient fish smoking show how FRSD-funded measures have the potential to provide sustainable, resource-efficient, and future-oriented solutions. The Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development demonstrated that development, social inclusion, and environmental responsibility can go hand in hand. The positive impact achieved is a testimony to the fund's effectiveness as a tool for strengthening and building resilience in communities. GIZ is committed to continue supporting the implementation of FRSD-funded measures as part of the international cooperation between the German federal government and the ECOWAS Commission, a strong and long-standing partnership. We will continue supporting the implementation of measurements financed out of the fund in stabilizing and developing fragile regions within the ECOWAS region, namely in Guinea-Bissau, Togo, and Benin. The efforts, commitment, and work put into the interventions in the Gambia will serve as important lessons learned and best practices, and they are an important canvas to draw experiences from in the other countries. Let me conclude by once again thanking and congratulating all the stakeholders involved in this project for their vision, dedication, hard work, and leadership. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the organizers of today's ceremony and to the communities of the Lower River region, Upper River region, and Greater Banjul area for having welcomed the implementation of the project. Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, thank you all for your cooperation, hospitality, and for your attention.
Thank you very much. We continue with the opening and welcome remarks this morning. In August 2023, Mr. Klaus Bajert was appointed German ambassador to the Gambia. He is the first German ambassador taking residence in English-speaking nation in West Africa. Prior to this assignment, Mr. Bajert held position of Deputy Chief of Mission at the German Embassy in Bogota, Colombia. Before, he served as head of the Political Security Development Section of the Delegation of the European Union to the United States of America. Other previous career positions include Head Division of the US and Canada Office at the Foreign Office in Berlin the German Embassy in Washington, D.C., Head of Division in the Legal Department of the Foreign Office in Berlin, the German Permanent Mission to the United Nations in Geneva, and the Federal Chancellor's Office. A native of Krefeld, Düsseldorf in Germany, Mr. Bourget earned degrees in law, both state exams in Bavaria, following law studies in Munich, Geneva, Strasbourg, and Bonn. Mr. Bourget is married to U.S. diplomat Ms. Jessica Rosen. Ambassador, welcome.
It was very extensive. Good morning, everybody. Her Excellency Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Ms. Dantien Chinchibija. Your Excellency, Honorable Minister of Finance, Sidi Keita, Honorable Permanent Secretary of the Minister of Youth and Sport, Ms. Ndeye Marie Nje, Honorable Mayors, Governors, Ambassadors, Heads of Departments and Agencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, dear partners, experts, and resource persons, distinguished guests, all protocol observed, welcome. Indeed, as the first German ambassador with residence in the Gambia, it's a great pleasure and honor for me to mark together with you the successful conclusion of the Gambia pilot project under the Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development, in short FRSD. That's something you have to understand for German development experts. It's a must to work with abbreviations. So you will hear this abbreviation FRSD all the time. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of the FRSD closing event today, who have given us the opportunity to come together and strengthen the ties between our two nations and to reflect upon what has actually been achieved. Diplomatic relations between the Gambia and Germany were first established in 1965, and the opening of our embassy here in the Gambia earlier this year in May is a testament to the deepening ties between our countries. While the Gambia pilot project of the Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development, supported by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development and implemented by our experts from the GIZ, is coming to a successful end, Germany continues to support the Gambian democratization and stabilization process. For example, by supporting the reintegration of returning migrants, represented here by our dear friend Koso Silla from the Gambian German Advisory Council, and by supporting also police training and democratization of the police and a lot of infrastructure work represented by Marion Popp, also from GIZ. Our relationship is based on shared democratic values and mutual friendship. ECOWAS, on the other hand, is a key player in promoting economic integration, political stability among its member states, and has played an influential role in the stabilization and democratization process in the Gambia. In the realization of the FRSD project, ECOWAS played a very important role as a valuable partner, and we continue to rely on it. Thank you so much. As political instability, economic disparities, and security threats continue to pose a threat to the region, the Gambia faces the ongoing task of consolidating its democratic gains, promoting inclusive development, and addressing social and economic inequalities. For this, international cooperation is essential, and ECOWAS, as well as the United Nations organizations and others, they are playing an important role in this. The collaboration between the ECOWAS Commission and German cooperation implemented by GIZ and KfW under the FRSD project is a testament to effective international cooperation in multiple sectors that are crucial to stabilization efforts. I'm glad to see strong partnerships emerging from it to continue building resilience in regions facing acute food insecurity caused by climate change, limited access to infrastructure, and other factors. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I myself had the pleasure to visit a part of the project sites, the fisheries part in Kantong and Gunjur here south of the Greater Banjul region, and see the installations, and it was really impressive. Most heartening was how enthusiastic the women who handled the fish for drying or for smoking embraced the new technologies, embraced the solar dryers and the smoking ovens as theirs as a technology which serves them, and this is the best sign that this project is on the right track. And I felt very comforted by this. The pilot project of the FRSD in the Gambia is significantly contributing to the stabilization in the lower river region, the upper river region, and the greater Banjul area through these efforts. Young Gambians across 50 communities now benefit from a significantly improved access to employment. I'm pleased to witness the positive outcomes emerging from this project, particularly in addressing socio-economic challenges. The focus on marginalized groups underscore our collective commitment to inclusivity and the well-being of all society members. As we reflect on these accomplishments of this pilot project, I would like to thank the authorities, partners, and all stakeholders who have made this initiative a success. The strong representation of the Gambian government at today's occasion attests for the national commitment to the success of the project. And I commend the communities in the regions of intervention for their active participation. In conclusion, I would like to extend my best wishes for the continued collaboration in other ECOWAS member states and look forward to witnessing the results that we'll continue to have here on the Gambia. And we will certainly continue to lend our support to the extent possible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador. The next speaker is the Gambian Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs. He is also Project Steering Committee co-chair. Mr. Keita, until his appointment as Finance Minister, was Minister for Trade, Industry, and Regional Integration and Employment. Prior to this, he was Director of Finance at the Department of Islamic Cooperation for the Development of the Private Sector, ICD, the private sector entity of the Islamic Development Bank, IDB, in Jeddah from 2011 to 2020. He also served as the Deputy Director in the Treasury of IFAD, where he managed liquidity and oversaw operations and funding between 2010 and 2011. He first joined the ICD in 1999 as a young professional core team member and rose through the ranks. In the Gambia, Mr. Keita worked at the Accountant General's Department and the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, where he held various positions to the level of Chief Accountant before he left for the World Bank-funded health project in 1998. As the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mr. Keita believes in the development of a robust and sound economy, grounded on prudent financial management that will support the country's development agenda and improve the lives and livelihoods of Gambians. He is a Chartered Certified Accountant, FCCA, and a Chartered Management Accountant, ACMA, and holds a double master's degree in Business Administration and Financial Management from Edinburgh Business School, Heriot-Watt University. He graduated with distinction, a postgraduate diploma master's level in financial strategy from Said Business School, University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. He is a qualified treasurer, AMCT, and a chartered alternative investment analyst. CD attended executive education at Harvard Corporate Financial Engineering, George Business School, University of Cambridge, General Management, and London Business School. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs, Mr. C.D. Keita.
That looks like a job interview. Thank you very much. Good morning, Your Excellency, the Vice President of ECOWAS, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Germany to the Republic of the Gambia, and welcome. Your Excellency, the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates here in present, Imam and the bishops here present, and we appreciate your presence and prayers that this session be blessed. Members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, ladies and gentlemen, it is a singular honor for me to partake in the closing ceremony of this regional stabilization fund that was run by ECOWAS through the FRSD pilot here in the Gambia. And we have seen this project has covered very important areas of the country, particularly the vulnerable areas of URR, LRR, and the Greater Banjul area. And I identify very well and strongly with the project because I hail from LRR, and one of the intervention areas is just close to my house. So I identify very well with this project. And we are very grateful as a government to the partnership between ECOWAS and the Federal Republic of Germany for having come together to implement such a pilot project. And it is a project that is timely and very much needed in our nascent democracy, which is very vibrant. And the intervention is timely in the sense that we know what regional stabilization can do, and is addressing the core group of youths and women particularly. Since 2019, FRSD Gambia German project pilot has successfully showcased the effectiveness of the fund and paved the way for implementation of the fund in other ECOWAS member countries. We hope the pilot has lessons learned, and those lessons learned will be used to properly design the project in the intervention in other ECOWAS countries. But we'll hasten to say that being a pilot doesn't mean we should be excluded in future consideration as a country, because we were the guinea pigs, so the lessons of that should come home. As a co-chair of the project steering committee, I would like to express our unwavering support for the FRSD program, and I believe that this program has the potential to address the unemployment issues prevalent in the sub-region, and particularly the areas concerned. And I would like to thank the German government for their continued support in our national development, and through partnership with the regional bloc such as ECOWAS in stabilizing the country. We know ECOWAS, Gambia is a success story of ECOWAS. It doesn't have to take us long just to see what's happening in the region to appreciate the role ECOWAS has played in the Gambia. And they have not just stabilized on the security front, but this project is one such which has gone to stabilize the life and livelihood of the vulnerable communities, particularly in the region and outside the Greater Banjul area. So ECOWAS is, I'm sure, this pilot will be very useful in stabilizing the other vulnerable countries once they go through that transition. And one very important thing of the project is it addressed employment as an issue. Employment is a key. And as a government, we are very concerned about the welfare of youths, particularly when it comes to matters of employment. That's when they will participate, their meaningful contribution to national development. every member of the Gambia should see themselves in the policies of the government, and we believe that can only be realized through active economic engagement through employment. So the key areas of the intervention, such as horticulture, poultry, and fisheries, are very nascent and important sectors of the economy, and we hope the beneficiaries from the intervention will learn and utilize the lessons learned and the boost that they have been given to continue the journey way after the close of the pilot. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. If that was a job interview, you have succeeded. You are hired, sir. Like they say, seeing is believing. Most of us here may not see the projects by yourself. You may not be living witnesses of the projects. But we'll bring you the projects now by the media team of GIZ, who will do project overview, results, and impact. So I hand you now over to the media team for the video projections, where you could see for yourself the projects and the impact these projects have had on the lives of the involved beneficiaries. The technicians are working on sorting out the video and sound. And after the videos, we'll have some of the beneficiaries. Get any of these mics, madam. While the technicians are sorting out, some of the beneficiaries are here who would also do testimonies. So I'm not sure if the technicians will require time. For the benefit of time, I could go to the beneficiaries who will do their testimonies while we give you 5-10 minutes. Would that be reasonable? You can do it now. Who is doing the sound and video? Okay, we'll give you the time. So we'll invite shortly some of the beneficiaries to do the testimonies while the technical team is prepared. That way we'll gain time. Mbadingolu, milibina diamula silam, ni momo lafita, isa mandika kanfo no, wala isuru akanfo, kanna sorulal bi janne minisa fo nin kandola mbokk yi ñuy ñoo woon yi pour ñu ñoo wax si comme neex mën nga làkk olof am na ñu ñoo làppatoo si anglais pour ñoo xam ne xëy na dégguñ olof. The following speakers to give testimony are at liberty to speak English, Mandinka or Wolof, as we have translators. And to remind you again, channel 1 is English, channel 2 is Mandinka, channel 3 is Wolof. We'd like to call now on Alaji Amadou Kamara, GBA Horticulture. Alaji Amadou.
Good morning, members of the high table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alaji Amadou Kamara. Alaji was a migrant returnee in 2017. When Alaji returned back to the Gambia, he wanted to start life to see what he's going to do. Later, Alaji decided to venture into agriculture. Later, we acquired a land in North Bank region, which is 200 by 100 meters. So we received so many support from that land. So I have my colleagues there right now. Some they stay there, some they come and go. We are doing very well. When I was in Libya, I saw the way Libyans are working. So I decided when we come back, we will try to copy from them. Because horticulture is #1 key in Libya because they work hard. Because sometimes we used to go to Libyan market. When they are selling their vegetables, when it fails them, they will never pick it up because they have enough. But here in the Gambia, when your vegetables fails them, you have to pick it up. So it's a different case. Because we want to have more followers, especially in the side of the youth. Because Gambian population, we can say that we are populated by youth. And most people here, we can say that we have more than, so many people here are youth.
3,750 beneficiaries comprising of youth, women, and migrant returnees between 16 to 35 years resident in any of these regions are targeted: Greater Banjul area, Lower River region, and Upper River region. The project's focus on value chains makes it possible to look at the big picture of income opportunities for the young generation in the Gambia. We look at the full range of activities needed to create a product or service from its conception to its consumption: design, production, marketing, and distribution on the local as well as regional markets. We provide capacity building training programs designed and implemented by sector experts in each value chain, conduct expert group workshops on agricultural value chain finance, provide financial literacy trainings for eligible beneficiaries, and support over 500 micro business startups in the agricultural sector in form of equipment and appliances. Together with our implementing partners, we've successfully implemented the SME business loop models, targeting over 650 growth-oriented agribusinesses and orienting 2,500 farmers on farmer business school methodology, a paradigm shift for commercial farming in most rural communities. We collaborated with health sector experts and academia to develop and implement formal qualifications for the mental health unit at the Gambia College School of Nursing and Midwifery, offering training programs to health workers, immigration and police officers. We also offer psychosocial services for migrant returnees and provide reintegration and organizational development packages for migrant returning groups. The Gambia pilot project under the technical cooperation window of the Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development in Fragile Regions within ECOWAS member states, FRSD, is commissioned by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ.
Thank you very much. So everybody here has seen and witnessed all the projects. Yes? The video said it, seeing is believing. So we are all witnesses of the impact of the 4-year project in the Gambia and the livelihood of beneficiaries. The next testimony is coming from Kadi Jau, URR. Kadi can speak Mandinka, Wolof, or English. But remember, Kadi is 2 minutes, please. Your video is done, sir. We are still hearing it. Thank you, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Khadija from Basse Upper River region. I'm here to talk about my entrepreneurship journey and what the project supported me with. I started my entrepreneurship journey with a training that I did with the Gambia Songhai Initiative in the North Bank region, where I was trained on horticulture, poultry, livestock management, compost making for a period of 1 year. After the training, there is a package that the center do give to every trainee. From that, I went back to Basse. I decided to start my own business, but before I do so, I went to several trainings with different organizations where I was trained on business formalization, financial management, record keeping. From there, I started my own business, that is the horticultural garden. I started growing different vegetables alongside with fruit trees, seedlings, and also ornamental flowers. That is the flower business. The flower business gave me the opportunity to sign up contracts with contractors. One of it is the Jigo Construction. That is the Happiness Guest House. I did the transplanting of Bahamas and also the flower transplanting. From that, I get to know about the GIZ pilot project from the URR youth chapter, where the information was shared. I went for the form to WASDA. That is how I applied, and I was shortlisted. I submitted all my documents with the form. Few days later, I was contacted to go for the interview. I did the interview. From that, I was called back to draw my budget. That is what they should support me with. I drew my budget. I submitted. From there, a few days again, the team came to visit my garden with their implementing partners. They asked me what will I want the project to support me with. I told them that I want the project to support me with fish farming, that is fish pond. So they asked me what are the materials that I need in doing the fish farming. I told them. So from that, they asked me, but they are not going to construct the fish pond for me. I agreed. I said, no problem. I can do the construction for myself. So they said that they are going to support me the materials when I'm done with the fish pond, which I did. I constructed a pond 6 by 4 dimension. From that, they gave me a lot of trainings where I networked with from some of the youths. From that, the time I was done with the construction, they support me with the materials. Currently, I'm having 200 catfish in my pond, and I'm expecting to harvest them within a period of 6 months. From that, I will continue the fish pond for the next coming years, and I'm expecting to expand. My garden is integrated. I'm doing ornamentals, fruit trees, vegetable, the same thing to fish pond. And also, I would like to thank GIZ and their implementing partners for the support. And also, I'm expecting and hoping for more support to come in the subsequent months to come in the year. Thank you.
So everybody has a message. Kadi's message is more support. The next testimony is coming from Dauda Saho. Dauda Saho. Is Dauda here? Yes, Dauda, please. So Dauda is free to speak English, Wolof, or Mandinka.
Assalamu alaikum, be konton to kala tol nim konton Allah. Diamlal be siari. Diamlal be siari intella diamu to jam fala bage. Detaro no mul kono no wati meri mentaro no tamula kadani bantala bangul kan. Barna tamu ni nata ndandi libiale. Manna tambino nyaado. Banna taro fanan kono libia. Nataro ni fanan kono libia. Nata na tragad no do kata do ko laje. Bodo dana tambi manna siloni manna bula narana murna so bire murna kadanda ko ma don be siri mantra doku wala dal nara wul ko ken tata training do mabe NTC njora training sanda ntrenta je fo sanji dandan kono treni ñi banta nata murna so kono bar nanga ñew minati ko mbakata la kato be la kam pour nga do ko keno banko kanjang fon sam fon soto no nata nga sansan ke nyambo la menkata nga nyambu sansan tata 120 meters by 80 meters nga be ke nyamboti bar comme fanko kenya kamba amanna na baraka so mbol kono nata ñi fomo soto kibaroro na fomo ñi fil biringa fomo ñi fil par atranu fana benum politique keka so biringa fomo fil ila nyaaron ko natan komandi kela kibaro ñi foñe ngoy hanka ya sa kenole so kuma la suti akamba bari diamnal be siari ni to la dungo bulo kono anara kawolde but birin ni ka dunyo bul lumeng e ina fonye ko malla fi nga idundi ku kono samay na bori ye banko bula umanke na ngani oti ngoy kon to nyanda kala banko dimuni e sokra fondin kewol nyanda kele kawandi baldi nyanda kele misal mo baldi nyanda kele tamanser la baldi because tamo kono keba kun koy bugara tamala meri nim bugara tamala fondin kewol le kata banko dun sembo mu fondin kewol de nim fondin kew banda banko kam yabara nyaato han men be la masa ko ma ba soto la ba abe kole ala pour asoro because moment yo ko tata lono la kaka masala kanta dindi wala be kantaro kenola pour banko e tanga so nata na wakil mbe pol training ke kawro but brin ni DIZ dun tanyo bul wona bi nsafa dal ala luwolum wati o wati ndela system woni alhamdulillah aka falin nganyaato ta ba soto ko ni kono because brin dun ta politique kono amamurundi no koma ngaje ko ngal ngani yo min tam fon pour ngana banko do ko keno jang ngam fon soto no jang atra mantano banko e banda ngaje ko ala bo nato nyi ma falale ning arante mang muru koma nata nambe poultry nyi kega but e kafo nyi na kol to be tentula be jayla ba bari tebe tol fono la mo le fana muti men yalan ko min ba do woni kono cekende ballem because o konko tela o min do tela bare kadum do balle no ma santola satewol do pour kaje ko do ba dingule ma ko ro soto no nyami pour nyi jihado ni yankan kado membe keri asatala no nyami mastalal de maro do ngaje ko ngani yo mentano e fon e ani ngani mentano banko diwne ibo ke kanne bari ngalon ko ibo ke fon le bari biri be lulle la place oldo yeyin tawo tala ko be la place o nyim ma falale andum ibo ke kanne so mo se so duwala ani la dimbal fanana tambindi nyaato mo se ma ko duwala ko nyin kono baabe fondingel be kumo men fole demanding ate keno la ko madama ite baluwo soto no le ya wala ite fon tarandino la madama e mantano wandi banko to nyala mobe ta keno la silati bar mobe ta keno la fintilati bi sango kibaro to mo fe ngo men ka finti fondin ci fro la ka siya keba frodi o man ka karo taman seroti so mbe donol danila ye kato beke ye finti santol le ye mako roke evita santol le ba tataje ko ibe kordal jela kordal men yalon ko korda bungo fele bunkendo mota kono be onne ke laaje an mo le taranuje mo be migrate kan kele wulu blal bula kele wulu bankol bula kata bal wonyini anu flat lanol be je min yalan ko ise gadinol keno banko to ji ise poultry keno ise be amalendo keno ye fonsoto hanin sene kotan men yalan ko imma finti la banko kan alal demaro because ndol la banko la betara libera dula dol la banko laldi bari wole munel ki sembo men be tolla anin fanko men be la to nya won 30 la jande but ifana be do ko ke kanno nyame pour que fon tarandino nim fana nim fana o kiliya nyinke amanna ke hasidiya nga kiliya comme bem fana tan bem fon tarandino la tumando ni alama satalla e demaro ko konyon Gambia bem fon tarandile atra ko ntol man nyabo mo fe ntol len banko ma wara but fon ni jolle be wulla ngante o siti nga do ko ke diamlal be siaring kumo be to fono la nsafo dal ala baraka aliyakar.
Thank you, Dawda Saho. And Dawda's message is clear. More support for young people and more encouragement for young people to remain in country, to develop the country. The next testimony is coming from Famara Jabi, also from URR. Famara can speak English, Wolof, or Mandinka.
Good morning. My name is Famara Jabi from Upper River region. Basically, I am going to talk about the URL Marketing Messi Federation that is established by GIZ and how the idea come forced to establish that poultry federations. The idea come after when all of us are supported individual as beneficiary poultry farmers in Upper River region. During their site visit, there is some complications in the selling of the birds and the marketing aspect, especially those who are from Kulkulel and the border around Koina. The catchment villages towards Basse is about 7 kilometers away. Some of them are females, in fact. It was difficult for them to sell their birds when they are ready for the market, especially when it comes to the transport system. Some of them we are putting them in pans and carting to tie them behind the motorbikes and take them to Basse because it's some kilometers away from Basse. So Auntie Mariama and the team went for a site visit. They were told about these stories. And they could not sit down since they find out it was difficult for people to access the market with their birds. Some of them, in fact, so many birds will die along the way if they are going for if they are ready for the market. If you look at Kulkulel, a catchment village, to Basse, it was difficult for the females to transport them. So she tried very hard. She set up a entering committee, and that entering committee was able to apply the GIZ form. Then it was approved. We were called and given some startup kits like the tricycle for transportation of the birds if they are ready for the market. Then a defeathering machine, then a slaughtering gun. This is the first time in the history of UR, in fact, I am seeing a defeathering machine that can defeather the birds when they are ready for the market for 30 or 40 minutes. About 50 birds, 20 birds you can put in the machine. It's just a matter of plucking it and then it defeather them. So an entering committee was set up to run that process. When we are done again, then the proper election was done, whereby they gathered all the beneficiaries in the Upper River region. Then a committee was elected. I was lucky to be the president of that committee with some members, that is the secretary, the treasurer, to run the day-to-day operation of these federations. We are given 250 bars, layers, to support ourselves in the long run, and that defeathering machine that other poultry farmers will be able to use in the Upper River region. And in return, it's going to be a source of revenue for the federations. We are hoping so in the long run, this federation is going to support other young people in Upper River region through this source of revenue we are getting to start also their poultry farm. In short, this is what the federation is doing in Upper River region, and we planning to extend it, let it be stronger and bigger for poultry farmers and those who want to be poultry farmers in Upper River region. In short, thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Mfamara. We're now going to project results and impact assessment. I don't have a name, but it says team leader and M&E consultant. I'm assuming Mr. Jallo is doing that? Yes. Yes, sir. So, Mr. Jallo, please.
I think I will have to. Sorry, man. Let me just do that.
Mr. Jallo?
Yes.
Let me steal the mic from you for
Okay.
one moment. No, you stay. So all the beneficiaries that are here that need to do their setup outside, you are allowed to leave to prepare yourself and your stalls. Momo bijang miyalon ko imo beneficiary leti wala yemuna fang nyim project olale andu ila fatar la bantele pour que la dulada yam futeye sitano bantele yela bitiko da wala la dulada képp koo xam ne yaa ngi am support GIZ te nga bëggoon a defar sa stall bi si biti wala wone sa bopp mun ngaa dem jéggal nañ la yow mun ngaa dem.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and beneficiaries, implementing partners of the ECOWAS FRSD. It's an honor to have you all here today. We've heard the testimonials already. You've seen our project video, but we can't give all the details within this short period. So I am here to present to you the overall project results and outcome in the 4-year period. Basically, this is just a background information. Can you go on PowerPoint, please? It should work with this, I don't know. Can somebody help there? Yes, okay.
It's working now?
It's not working with this, but okay, all right. Anyway, the project started in 2019, October, and that was the eve of COVID. We all managed through COVID. It was a very difficult period until 2020. We set up, now begin to be able to meet with potential implementing partners, beneficiaries. It took some time, but all the same, we were able to make some progress. And we had a budget of 7 million euros for the TC, and I'm glad that our partner, the FC component, Mr. Omar Gay, is around. They are also part of this project, and then they are supporting beneficiaries with infrastructure support. In the project, we have a target group. We have a target to reach out to 3,750 beneficiaries, 50% of which female. And we had this age group of 16 to 35, with exceptions, of course. When we started work, we went into the fisheries sector, and we found that fish processing along the coastline are predominantly older women, and the project had to accommodate this. So exception is only along our fishing communities. Regions, of course, we are already predefined, GBA, LRR, URR, and then we have 3 main sectors: horticulture, fisheries, and poultry. And this has been our main focus all throughout the period. To deliver this, we had to set up the project, and there we had 4 advisories. Yeah, okay, thank you. And I would like to acknowledge the dedication, the commitment of my team in the implementation of this project. Without them, this would not have been really possible. We built a very strong team, and I would like to individually call their names just to acknowledge them. And I would say Agro Skills Development, Sambojang, Toure. Rise up, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Microfinance, Mariam Ashcroft. Business Development Services, Lamin Fati. Thank you. Youth Empowerment, Mr. Abdullah Singate. Where are you? He is the organizer, so he is all over the place. Okay, he is right there. Abdullah. But without our communication, this would not have been possible to disseminate all this information around the country and beyond. And thanks to our colleague, Seinabu Drami. Seinabu. And Seinabu has actually moved over to the main project in Abuja. And this shows the potentials. Actually, not only Seinabu, we have 2 of our staffs, M&E and communication, have already moved to Abuja. Thank you, Evelyn, for that consideration also. Okay, it's working now. First, the Agro Skills Advisory we have implemented in horticulture, poultry, and fisheries, and we follow the value chain. So curricula, training manuals, we are all developed sector-specific along the value chains with our with the experts in the area. In total, we have 2,231 beneficiaries that have been reached out to, either along the fish processing, fresh fish, or the fresh fish or the smoked fish processing, layer production in the poultry sector, broiler production, either agro-food processing in the horticulture or so all around the value chain of these three sectors, we have reached out to 2,231 beneficiaries. And then microfinance. In the microfinance advisory, we were targeting 500 beneficiaries, but Mariama was able to reach out to 5,609 beneficiaries. I'm sorry, 569 beneficiaries, I'm sorry. And thanks to NACUC, because NACUC are the custodians of the Messi Mini Grant, and in collaboration with Mariama, they were able to provide this huge support to our beneficiaries. Next. Agro skills. No. What happened? Youth, yes. So we go into the agro youth empowerment, and this is a tremendous achievement because we have set up a qualification, a formal qualification on mental health and psychosocial support. We've reached out to migrant returnees, providing them with support. And there we've had a total of 1,383 people reach. At least 5% of them there you will see later are migrant returnees, and that's quite a big number. So by sector, because this was regional, this was advisory based, so by sector in general, we have overall of the total, we've reached out to 49% of our total beneficiary number. That would come out later, is over 6,000, and our target was 3,750, and 33% of that is in the horticulture sector, and then 18% is within the fishery sector. The challenge there we had is that only GBA were in the fishery sector. We tried our level best, but fish processing is very, very, very minimal in LRR and URR. So that's predominantly why you can see in the fishery sector, participation is only 18%. So by region wise, I think we have done justice at the regional level. So the overall beneficiaries reached. Our target for the project was 3,750. We've reached out to 6,218 beneficiaries, providing them with all kinds of intervention. Some have actually had 2 or 3 different kinds of support. But overall, individual beneficiaries counted in our database is 6,218. And 71% female, and the target was 50%. So we've quite done justice in this case. And then URR, LRR, GBA, we tried to balance, and then you can see they are all above 30%. URR 32, LRR 32, URR 23, and GBA. Despite having low numbers in the fisheries sector, we still maintain the 31%. And I said returnees are overall 5%. That's equal to almost about 311 beneficiaries who are returnees have been supported in one way or the other. Basically, here, I think I wouldn't do justice if I don't just quickly call the names of our key implementing partners who supported this project to really achieve these great results. And I will start with microfinance, the mini grant. I said NACUC. NACUC has been quite exceptional in the way they delivered. Mr. Fode, the general manager, is here. Horticultural service for skills development. Horticultural service Ramata from HTSU. Director of agricultural services. Livestock department. Do we have Dr. Cisse here or a representative? Yes. Fisheries department, one of our key collaborators, Mr. Cham. Then we go to GTTI or USET, I'm sorry, USET, the name changed. Do we have anyone from USET here or Zioma? Yes, there, USET. NSGA, Nova Scotia, Gambia. Yes, please, yeah. Thank you, thank you. GTH, yes, Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute. GTHI, yes, thank you. WASDA, how can I forget WASDA? WASDA, our key partner in URR. They've been day and night running around all our project sites, visiting beneficiaries, giving them the support. Thank you very much, Keba. Manager's prescription in LRR. Thank you, Osman. Thank you. GHE, GBA, GHE, anyone from GHE? Mr. Cisse Khadi, yes, okay. Who else? I mean, if I start calling names, then I am. Huh? Yes, the School of Nursing for the mental health. Sorry, Fatimata. Yes. So, yes, the list goes on. I mean, they've been very supportive, very instrumental, committed to making sure that the project is implemented. And then we have this M&E system where every implementing partner provides feedback into the project, because our approach is that the project doesn't implement. It's the partners who are in the ecosystem, who knows the ecosystem, implement our project. And this is what they've done is incredible, and I thank you all so much for the support, for the collaboration, and hopefully you can now continue with this good work. A lot of capacity has been built at that level so that you can now continue this great job that we've all been doing in the past 4 years. On that note, I thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, boss. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm not presenting. Since you have done all the paperwork, all I have to do is read what you have written for me. My job is easy that way. For some reason, we have gained time, even though we started a few minutes late. In fact, we are 10 minutes ahead of ourselves, which is very good. The next activity is the handing over of technical cooperation window materials and products to the government of the Gambia. And for that,
there's a second presentation on impact assessment.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You're doing the M&E? Okay, we'll do. I thought we gained time. We probably haven't. So maybe you'll consume that 10 minutes that I thought we gained. Okay, now we're going to continue with the project results and impact assessment by the M&E and consultant, M&E consultant. Go ahead, sir. I thought that was one in one.
That doesn't matter. I'll be quick. Yes. Okay, so thank you very much. My name is Krzysztof Gostoni. I'm presenting, the result. Oops, sorry. Yes, here we go. So the results of the impact assessment put in place by FRSD, the FRSD, the Gambia pilot. This is a result on which a team of 3 has been working. Me, myself, and then Lamin Keita from GIZ FRSD is currently in Abuja and cannot be present at the moment, and my colleague Jan Köhler from Germany. So, Abdullah, thank you very much for the invitation. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here and be able to present results. So here we go. So first of all, FRSD put in place a robust impact assessment using mixed method, that is quantitative and qualitative methods, which is, I think, really extremely laudable and the state of the art, so to say, for complex and challenging projects, pilot projects especially. So this is great. However, setting up an impact assessment faces really a lot of challenges, especially because this is an extremely complex project where you have been working in 9 advisories, 9 different sectors, very different types of activities, and starting in very different times. So it was a huge challenge, basically accommodating for these 9 different advisories in the questionnaire, in the survey, and then trying to harmonize the time of the surveys with the course of implementation. And of course, implementation has a priority, so we really had to adjust ourselves to fit in there somewhere. Now here we go. Following implementation, we had a window of opportunity to conduct the baseline study in December, early December 2022. Since we couldn't catch all the advisories, there was a small additional baseline survey in August 2023, and then an endline survey in September 2023. And now that I present the results, you have to you have to bear in mind that just as the FRSD, the Gambia pilot, was a pilot, the impact assessment accompanying it, following it, is also a pilot from which a project intends to learn for the future. So what do we have? Per wave, in the quantitative component, we had a control and the treatment group to be able to try to basically discern the impact of FRSD training measures. We had almost of those respondents who participated in both the impact and the treatment. We have 967 per wave. So for the 2 waves, we have almost 1,800, a bit more than 1,800 responses to deal with. In terms of, we also had this qualitative component. The idea was, in addition to the numbers and the statistical calculations, to understand what is happening on the ground, to be able to contextualize results and to understand basically responses, so what was going on. So we had, per wave, we had 54 qualitative interviews with beneficiaries and with community representatives to give us context or see if there were any community level results to be discerned, and also how the community saw these activities. The additional baseline was a little bit smaller, 288 here. We have, it's really just a baseline to capture for eventual later use additional advisories that we couldn't fully capture during here. So this is basically the chain of which ultimately, step by step, the project would like to achieve. Now, if you look at it, here is where we have the baseline. The baseline was set in before actual training activities started, and the end line, for several reasons, was at a time when really the training was just beginning. So we really we would hope that initial impacts are slowly unfolding. However, already at baseline, when we did our survey, only like a relatively smaller percentage of somewhat more than 300 interview partners fully concluded FRSD impacts. Others were still in the process. Let's go on. Can we kind of already discern impacts which are at a higher level other than basically an assessment of the training? Here we have to say there should be possibilities, but you know, there are caveats. It is effects will be, and it is a pilot, both the impact assessment and the project itself. So the time between finalizing or concluding the training and the baseline was relatively short. So obviously, impacts will be relatively less. And there is obviously a hope that with time these impacts, which we might find, would be more pronounced. Now, let me just go in the following few slides. Let me just go through this impact chain that I have outlined. GIZ outputs, first initial outcome level impacts, and basically satisfaction and assessment that the training contents, GIZ the content of the measures was actually really needed and relevant. Then on a higher level already, level 1 impact, that it leads to an impact increase in income. And then finally, like, you know, changes of attitudes. So here we go. Let's look at the first, basically the outcome level. Here we see a very high level of satisfaction with GIZ training measures. And we listed here the main trainings in terms of our survey. It's basically everywhere very useful or useful. It predominates and is over far over above 90%. So congratulations. This is definitely a success of FRSD. Now some respondents, and this is already positive already after this very short time. Some respondents stated that they could already use what they've learned and could employ it. However, many other respondents stated that it was too early for them to comment anything beyond a training. They were very happy with the training, but they still needed time to see, you know, put in place what they have learned, maybe seek for funds and go on. But basically, the first step for successful higher level incomes is definitely there for FRSD. I go on. Now, at a level higher, do we see, what can we see? So first we see, and I have to, I will try to speak extremely loud. So here, now we look at those people who fully completed the training.
Can we please use the mic? Because of the translations.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So we now contrast those who in our survey fully passed through all the training, and we contrast them with all the control group who is not a beneficiary, and for those who are beneficiaries but have not yet concluded the training in the moment of our end-line survey. What's this? Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay, just go ahead. Okay. So what we see is and there's a caveat. We see results, but the results are, academically speaking, or speaking as a statistician, are statistically not yet significant. To be statistically significant, meaning that we can be fully confident that it is not just by the chance of the selection, by the random selection of our respondents. These small red horizontal lines, the black lines, the whiskers, should not overlap. However, in our case, as indicated by the red lines and the blue lines, the small lines overlap. We call them whiskers. So we cannot be really, we cannot be fully confident. But they turn into, point into the right direction. Okay. And this is important. So initial results, even though the training was just concluded, initial results show that something is happening. Something is happening in the treatment group, and you can see that the difference between the treatment and the control group is increasing. It is so that this is what we would like to have, but we cannot be absolutely certain that it is indeed kind of. We cannot use it yet as evidence. We would need more time for it. Now, in a special type of the projects, the economic advisories, we see that these are microfinance starter kits basically where they immediately received some inputs that they could use. We see that the difference is increasing. It is not yet statistically significant, but once again it points into the right direction. And now, looking at other survey questions, we also look at this level of this first impact level. For example, the stability, reliability of income, all point in the same direction. So we're pretty confident that there's something happening with the treatment group, that they start to use it, but it's too early for results to be fully fully grown so that we can speak of them as fully evidenced. Good. Can we see anything on higher level impacts? Not yet. The direction is not consistent. Sometimes the treatment group fares better, sometimes the control group fares better, and it is not yet statistically significant. So here, definitely, until really attitudes and the view of Gambia changes, this would probably take another 12 months, 13, or maybe longer. But there is a hope that it will happen. Now let me just go and conclude my presentation with a brief overview of once again, of this impact chain. So we have positive results on the first step. The training was seen and viewed as relevant by basically almost all participants, interviewed participants. Here we have first good hints, good signs, there is a difference being made, but it will take more time to fully materialize. And here we would expect in a few months from now, definitively strong results and evidence. And here it's an open question. There is a hope that these higher level stabilization impacts will materialize, but we cannot be sure yet. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Consultants are like teachers, and more like us journalists and media people. Once we get started, it's difficult we get excited. We get excited, that's the right word. I'm going to do slight changes because some of the invited guests have other engagements. So I'll take the liberty as chair to play around with the program a little bit so that the relevant speeches are all made now and before the high table leaves. So to give us the keynote address this morning, I've lost about 4 or 5 minutes, which I intend to gain quickly. Her Excellency Damsien Chinchibija is a development economist who, prior to joining the ECOWAS Commission, served as an economic advisor and then as a special advisor at the Office of the President of the Togolese Republic. During her time at the presidency, she conceptualized the Accra Initiative, which aims to establish a formal and collaborative network for security and intelligence agencies in West Africa. She has relevant experience in capacity building of women and youth for a positive social impact and peace building. She has managed USAID and World Bank projects, as well as public and privately funded projects. She has a proven track record in strategy formulation and implementation, as well as in political risk assessment. She holds a master's degree in international commerce and policy from George Mason University in Virginia, USA in 2004, and a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service from Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. in the year 2000. In addition to French, the official language of Togo, she speaks fluently English and Mandarin. Ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, can you kindly welcome Her Excellency Damsien Chinchibija, the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission.
Thank you very much for such an introduction, such a beautiful introduction. Nangadef to everyone. Magnifique. That's where my Wolof stops, unfortunately. Honorable Sidi Keita, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, distinguished permanent secretaries and representatives of government institutions, Your Excellency Madame Miata Lili French, ECOWAS resident representative in the Gambia, His Excellency Klaus Bottet, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Gambia, Dr. Marcus Wagner, GIZ Country Director for Nigeria and ECOWAS, staff of the FRSD Gambia Pilot Project Management Units, religious leaders and community leaders, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly a pleasure for me to join you today for this important ceremony to reflect on the lessons learned and celebrate the successes achieved through the implementation of the technical cooperation window for the ECOWAS Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development, known as the Gambia Pilot Project. I wish to express our sincere gratitude to the government of the Republic of the Gambia for the hospitality and for providing necessary support for this event to take place. Our gratitude also goes to our partners from the German corporation, represented here today by the members of the German embassy, and the implementation partners, of course, of the technical window of the project, GIZ. We are also grateful to our distinguished delegates from our development partners, civil society, and beneficiary groups who have joined us for this important ceremony. We are encouraged by your show of unflinching commitment to our common cause and remain hopeful that our meeting here forms another important step in our continuous effort to strengthen the ECOWAS community. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the subject of fragility has in recent times gained significant interest among governments, international organizations, and policymakers due to the impact it has on socio-economic development in the world. For the purposes of our discussions today, I believe it is fair to throw more light on our perspective on this subject matter to put it into context why a program of this nature has been implemented in the Gambia. From the perspectives of the ECOWAS Commission, we align with the African Development Bank's definition of the state of fragility to be the condition where the exposure to internal or external pressures exceeds existing capacities to prevent, respond to, and recover from them, creating risk and instability and vulnerabilities. The West African region has in recent decades made impressive progress in economic growth, democratization, and regional cooperation. Nevertheless, the region continues to face various forms of fragility driven by violent conflicts, ineffective institutions, lack of social cohesion, limited access to services and opportunities, especially amongst vulnerable groups like women and youth. These prevailing conditions have resulted in lacks in socio-economic development and the escalation of fragilities, especially among the most vulnerable communities and demographics. These conditions have also resulted in a breakdown of governance systems and disrupted the provision of essential social services to populations. The consequent inequalities emanating from these phenomena have become toxic both for social cohesion and for long-term socio-economic growth in the region. Unfortunately, emerging and ongoing challenges such as the climate crisis, conflicts in Europe and Asia, and health pandemics such as Ebola and COVID-19 have further heightened the impact of the already existing challenges we face in our region. In all of these situations, vulnerable people such as children, women, and youth are the most severely impacted. our youth is lured into violent extremisms or embarks on irregular migration routes, therefore depriving our region of its most valuable human resources. In light of the prevailing fragilities, the subject of stabilization has therefore been introduced as a development approach to support fragile local communities in order to build foundations for long-term development. Whilst the concept has varying definitions by several partners, it is generally built on the principles of protecting and advancing the means of survival for affected populations, promoting and supporting good governance processes, and preparing a foundation for longer-term stability. This concept also employs a gender and conflict-sensitive approach, ensuring that interventions do not inadvertently exacerbate conflict or fuel the subordination of vulnerable groups such as women. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with this background that the ECOWAS Commission has embarked on an ambitious journey of introducing interventions geared towards stabilization and development of communities faced with these cases of fragility in order to mitigate the risks and set them on a path of sustainable development. The ECOWAS Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development was therefore established in 2018 with the support from the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ, with the objective of creating sustainable economic opportunities for women and youth and improving their livelihoods. The fund adopts a systematic and fast-track approach for meeting socio-economic needs of a target group in catalytic areas with a view of building long-term development. The fund's implementation began in the Gambia as a pilot in 2019, and it was followed by Guinea-Bissau. As of this year, both Togo and Benin have been selected as Phase 2 countries, resulting from the spillover effect of violent terrorist attacks into coastal countries. So far, over 95 million euros have been committed for the Phase 1 and 2 countries in order to achieve the set objectives through investment in selected value chains and capacity building for targeted groups. Interventions in the Gambia were focused on job creation in the horticulture, poultry, and fishery value chains. This project provided psychosocial support for the migrant returnees and also led to the construction of essential infrastructure for vocational training targeting youth from rural areas. Both financial and technical cooperation interventions, respectively led by KfW and GIZ, were planned to be complementary in order to achieve maximum impact. In total, the German corporation has invested 20 million euros in the Gambia, and of which 13 million euros into the infrastructure component through KfW and 7 million euros in the capacity building component through GIZ. Since 2019, successes achieved through the financial cooperation window include the following: a modern fish smoking facility constructed at the Bruford Fish Landing Site to promote job creation for women, an 80-bed student dormitory constructed at the technical and vocational education and training institutions in the lower region in Mansa Konko to enhance vocational training enrollment rate for youth and especially for girls in the remote areas. A fish pond and poultry scheme at the Kundam Youth Garden in the upper region to create opportunities for youth. Grant support for private and community-owned projects to promote entrepreneurship in poultry, horticulture, and fisheries. Beneficiaries were in total 47 private projects and 42 community projects. Ongoing construction of 2 new fish smoking facilities in Jeswang and Bara for promoting income generation for more women. An ongoing construction of student dormitory in Gambia Technical Training Institute at the Julangel in Upper River region to enhance more youth enrollment in vocational training. An ongoing construction of agro-food processing training center at the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute in Kanifing. I am happy to inform you that over 6,000 youth have been trained in the Gambia in poultry, fisheries, and horticulture in order to acquire basic skills to undertake entrepreneurial ventures in these value chains. Additionally, over 600 beneficiaries have been provided with support, startup support in poultry, fishing, farming, and horticulture gardening to improve their livelihoods and incomes, and 100 food and agriculture organization farmer field schools have been transformed into farmer business schools to provide farmers with business development advisory and 4 key manuals to develop for continuous capacity development. The ECOWAS Commission has also invested $1.2 million in addition to the German government funding of the Gambia pilot project in order to undertake additional investments, activities to maximize project impact. And these all include the expansion of the Brewfoot fish smoking site with 2 new smoking houses, new washing areas, boiling areas, cooling facilities, and changing rooms to make it a state-of-the-art facility to enhance the economic activities of women involved in fish value chain. Additional resources would also be allocated to provide grant support for more youth entrepreneurs to enhance job creation and in order to continuously boost the Gambia pilot project. I would like to take this opportunity in order to congratulate the project management team of the technical cooperation window led by GIZ for working to bring these technical activities to a conclusion this year. Our gratitude also goes to all our implementing partners, Nova Scotia Gambia Association, the Woolly and Sandu Development Agency, WASDA, the Gambia School of Nursing, as well as the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Livestock, Horticulture departments, and for all their great support provided during the implementation of this pilot project in the Gambia. A special thanks also goes to the Project Steering Committee and the sector technical committees for providing national level coordination and guidance for implementation of planned activities. On behalf of the ECOWAS Commission and the beneficiaries, we would like to say thank you once again for your work and for the demonstrated commitment to seeing improvement in the lives of our youth and women in the Gambia. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, what we are witnessing today are the values and principles that the ECOWAS Commission and institutions stand for to promote youth, to promote women, and to support our populations, therefore enabling them and making them capable members of the community to help them build resilience and to build a prosperous region. It is our hope that the benefits emanating from the pilot project would go a long way in advancing the capabilities and opportunities for women and youth in the Gambia to achieve their fullest potential. On this note, I would like to seize the occasion to encourage our government partners, community leaders, and beneficiaries to take ownership of the lessons and experiences gained through this project and explore more opportunities. I would like to sincerely thank you for your presence here today, and I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
I like to appeal that I will need no more than 15 minutes before we get out of here. Honorable Minister, we really would crave your indulgence for the next 15 minutes. Mr. Ambassador, 15 minutes, I promise, ladies and gentlemen, no more than 15 minutes before we get out of here. And we will, with great pleasure, want to have the exhibition witnessed by all of the invited guests and dignitaries, as well as a group photograph. But 15 minutes before that, just 15 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite one of the young talents in this country in this sphere of poetry and motivation to young people, Mr. Omar Champion, for 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Uncle. Greetings, honorable members of the high table, members of the middle table, and even those with our table. I am honored to be here. Since we do not have time, I will just move straight to the performance. But I want you to support me in this performance, right? So when I say the magic line is, you all say we can make it here. The magic line is, we can all make it here, right? We practice. The magic line is?
We can all make it here.
Good, let's go. Tukki ngir tekke taxoon ma teggi tanki toog teg fa tanki tukki. Ndeke tanki tukki yu ma tegoon mooy waral samay jooy guddi. Yoni gannaaw tëj ma kasoog ñàkka nelaw futti ndulli paakaaki bali fetel jël suma wedi yaram suma xol ak xel torotaande tax suma melokaan sax xamatuma nu mel. The purchase of the most expensive dignity I never thought I could sell. But from the narrative she could tell that the threats and worries are in the increase, it's time to ring the emergency bell. The pains and lost lives are not worth it, for success is a well. Grab the rope and the bag, uplift what fell, and give poverty a respectable farewell. For the magic line is,
we can all make it here.
Right in the hearts of our dwellings, for success is everywhere. It is an accumulation of metal, so you be the smith. To rise to the highest level of success and rise to the zenith. For the notion of traveling to make it is just a mere myth, a misguidance we can no more work with, so hear it, wrap it, and trust it. Be the explorer of your dreams. There is no limit. Don't be fooled by the utopia they create from outside and how they narrate it. For if it does not look like it, it's not it, but looking like it doesn't make it it. So this is an internal disease that only you and I can treat. For the magic line is, we can all make it here. So wake up, rise, grind and take the path towards knowledge. For education is the key to success. Within or outside the four corners of the classroom, in the bathroom, in the newsroom, in the courtroom, in the glee room, in the dress room, and if success turns to be the bride, you be the bridegroom. For the magic line is, we can all make it here. But remember, not going to school too is not a failure. Not having a university degree doesn't make the future impure. GIZ has sold it to us at a higher ratio. So know when to worry without a degree. Don't let your glories turn to a story. Be the explorer of your own dreams. For there is a lot you can bring from your skills. We know there are challenges in our lives and the dreams employment. But your skills are enough resources to nurture this development. From poetry to carpentry, the keys to creativity, mastery to engineering, the blueprint to productivity, businesses beyond offices, every skill is a raw material that you can tap on successfully for the yield of the economy. Dégg naa ne dëkk bi dafa métti man de duma ko wéedi waaye dëkk bi am na fu mu tooyee suñu mu tooyee doon ay dex yu mënta jéggi mu samp seen xel ak lañ si mën a liggéey seen xarañ ak seen mbécce kon foog ñu takkan digga ngir tekkee seen dëkka ndax ñu mën a yokk seen mbégte. For the magic line is,
we can all make it here.
Overseas is not as promised. It's a shadow of what we foresee. Not as great as our homes and the great things we want to see. We can all make it here. We'll be more respected here. So if the fruit is you're looking for, then be your own tree. Do not wait on the government. Mansa kundata bekelano. Hanisa bekeno is hake baliano. Wotele mechole la semoti mota busla no. Fonse nyabiti ngante wosiri kodi ba keso ran keso yiti jamuta mfana jaramuta. Mote na nyato ta londi la no. So tighten your seatbelt and rise to the new vision, the new dreams and hopes. Unlock the potential, see the future and beyond for the newly constructed scopes. You are bigger than whatever you are now. You hold urgent of success in a bundle. Towards the light, you are your savior. You are the match, you are the candle. So just twinkle and sparkle. For the magic line is?
We can all make it here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. Quite inspiring, Omar. Thank you. Words we need to hear. And I'm on my, the magic line myself. So the magic line is? Indeed. Now, Excellencies, we're going to go over to the handing over of technical cooperation window materials and products to the government of the Gambia. And to help me do this, I would like to invite Her Excellency again. You know, this is what happens with Ivy League education. I was here trying to listen for an accent, I couldn't find it. Seriously, I'm very good when Africans speak, I can place the accent. Cameroon, Nigeria, this one Ghana, this one Gambia. So I tried to pick it, I couldn't find it. So maybe Excellency will have a conversation after to see where the accent has gone to, because I couldn't realize it. Her Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Damsian Chin Chibija, to help us do the awarding of some of these project items. Mr. Jallo, if you can help me as well as team leader to identify the beneficiaries in front, madam, so we can have good photographs. Photographers, if you can also come close to us. Yeah.
Yes. It's just in that order.
Okay. We'd like to call Mr. Momodu Cham from the Department of Fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources. Mr. Cham? You want in the middle there?
No, around that time.
Yeah. On the other side? Okay, excellent, I'm sorry. For photographers, that area? Okay. You can help. So we'll have you there. I read here, then you help them do the presentation. Yes.
You can just transfer this.
Yes.
You can just pronounce the
I'll keep it, yes. Yes, absolutely. So to Mr. Mamadou Cham, there'll be 100 manuals on fish processing and the curriculum as well, and as well as the aquaculture curriculum and manuals. So 200 copies in total will be handed to Mr. Mamadou Cham. Congratulations, Mr. Cham. Thank you so much. And we'll now like to invite Dr. Abdou Cisse from the Department of Livestock, Ministry of Agriculture. Dr. Abdou Cisse. A representative of Dr. Cisse is here with us. Mr. Mendy? Okay. Mr. Mendy represents Dr. Abdou Cisse from the Department of Livestock, Ministry of Agriculture. Poultry production curriculum and manuals, 100 copies. Poultry processing manuals and curriculum, 100 copies. Congratulations, Mr. Mendy and the Department of Livestock, Ministry of Agriculture. With pleasure, we invite Ramata Jigo. Ramata Jigo. Ramata Jigo, Horticulture Services Unit at the Ministry of Agriculture. And to her is a handover of a Toyota pickup, 1 vehicle, and agro skills curriculum and manuals, 100 copies. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. You may be seated now, Madam. Madam VP, and will now like to invite the Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mr. C. Decatur, to help us. That way, sir. While we invite Fatoumata Ba, the School of Nursing and Midwifery, and we're handing over to them MHPSS curriculum, HNC level 1, and MHPSS curriculum, HND level 2, 100 copies each. Mental health and psychosocial support, level 1 and 2. We'd like to invite Mr. Keba Silla Wazda. Thank you very much, Mr. Silla, and we'd like to thank the Honorable Minister. You're right. 25 kVA generator, 1 piece, laptops, 2 pieces, and a printer, and 2 printers. And we'd like to now invite, thank you, Silla. We'd like to now invite Dr. Marcus Wagner, Country Director of GIZ Nigeria and ECOWAS, to help us do the following presentations. Haruna Jallo, my own namesake, interesting one that is. Haruna Jallo, are you here? Of NSGA, Nova Scotia, Gambia, Haruna Jallo. And NSGA receives Samsung data collection tablets, 24 pieces, life skills curriculum and manual, 100 copies. Congratulations to Nova Scotia, Gambia. And Haruna, the most special person here today because you bear the same name as myself. And Musa Saidi from NEDI, National Enterprise Development Initiative, NEDI. Musa Saidi. Anyone from NEDI here? Unlucky because the 100 copies of whatever they're going to have, I could keep. Yes, they are under your ministry, Madam PS. Absolutely, madam. You're absolutely right. So the permanent secretary at the Minister of Youth and Sports will collect on behalf of NEDI. And its SME Loop training manuals, 100 copies to NEDI. As promised, ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, excellencies, we'd like to now invite everyone to visit the opening of the exhibition outside, as well as an opportunity for a group photograph, and we will reconvene later for a press briefing. Thank you so much for this morning's ceremonies. It has been 4 wonderful years with GIZ in this particular project, and we are grateful for all of you and your presence. We will reconvene later back here again. Group photo, yes. We'll do the group photo and the exhibition now. And if the photographers are fearful, we can start with the group photo before anyone leaves. We'll do it right outside. Let's do the group photo of the high table first, outside, before the exhibition. That way no one is escaping our photograph. I think we do the group photo right now, before anyone leaves.
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
we have
and
that.
starting up there, yeah.
Well, there's a true life. I really see now what this whole thing is about.
ma sa email bi waaw mën naa laa jox sama email bi wala da nga def
So this camera is going to move. So those doing the camera and the journalists are different. The journalists can just go So they will just bring them now. And then in close door move.
So centralized, but the buses are safer and more comfortable. It's safer and more comfortable also. The thing is slow, it's not like slow buses. The only problem is that usually they take a lot of time at the border because everybody has to go down, go in, go out the country. It takes a lot of time over there. But the centralized, you just go, you move and go. So that's not a problem. Yeah. But the thing is, today we'll go everywhere. What are you going to do? Safety over anything else. Well, that is just like buses, you know, it's not a good way. The same distance now. Join is coming. Yes, definitely. Yeah, okay. So this is on the okay. We podium or day? No, the podium. Do you see? Three of them to start there. You think? No. I'll wait. The mics and they sort it out.
They can stand, the two of them can stand.
Hello, Honorable. Yes, sir. Sorry.
It's very hot.
They are tearing me apart.
It's not so bad, not as bad as it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but alhamdulillah. It's okay.
Yeah, you made it same.
Yeah, okay.
Is there an extra mic for the questions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a mic.
No, but already
You can
we
come
said
and sit
everything
here.
should be done this week.
You can come and sit here. Come through this side.
Oh, I already spoke to Kuba. Let me call him. Yes, I will. No. Already I spoke to Jah himself and everything is okay.
Yeah, and the advice is kind of catching up so sleep.
No, I will. Don't worry. No worries.
Sunday to Monday and Tuesday, there was very much delay. Yeah.
So who are those
You guys
asking
have
the
done maybe
questions?
two. Oh my goodness, we have to wait for that. Because we tried to respond to them. They said no, we will leave it 11, but then 10:20 can be hard. It's complicated.
Well, yes, yeah, meeting on like bring call back.
Then they changed it from planes, very small planes. Yeah, they did that.
Okay.
America and Europe is
Maybe even once a week or so. But I would risk. I mean, it would be very, very practical. Oh. But you know, some of the airlines, I don't know, I think there's a shortage of planes up in Brussels, and all the users now the European planes. So I don't know, all the airlines pretty much.
No, but it's not. Central bank can accept funds from there. Then after, then they fund channel it to this account.
But next time I might really consider to take the road to by road. Then go around and then put a
Let the PS right.
yeah.
Honey, not public funds. No. Let them not. Let the whoever will pay to that executive account that they will use. Let them not do any to yes. Let them transfer. Let them not mix up.
The bridge.
It should be standalone in its entirety. Yeah. No, but either the account opening or central bank can advise you. Let them pay in.
Anyway.
No. Okay, let them release it. Yeah, let central bank give you. If you open an account to be a day or a day thing, let them make it slow. Yeah. Let just talk to Clara. They will open an account open from request. That will be done before the meeting. That way from here with the or somebody can do it from account.
No, I think they've just done here.
Oh, we start? All three of them?
Yes.
No, I will call her. In fact, by the way, I will forward.
Yes, they are going to stand. The VP, the minister, then the rep of the German.
Three of us together?
Yes.
Hello, Madida.
Get the video from here. Three of you will stand. So they already know what was said in the program, so we'll just go straight to the question.
But today is 27. What happened? Okay. Are they ready?
They are ready. You guys are set, right?
Are you ready, right?
Yeah, but they were.
To be balanced.
Gender balance.
They are organizers.
Okay, so who's going
Thank you very much. You say.
Oh. All right. Good morning. My name is Bouba Castro, a reporter for West Coast Radio. My question goes to the Vice President of ECOWAS. After you have successfully completed 4 projects in the Gambia, are you looking forward to beginning other projects in the Gambia? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Indeed, as we are closing out this component of the project is not completely closed because there's still some ongoing work. Are we looking forward to embarking on additional projects in the Gambia? Definitely. Gambia is part of ECOWAS. It's a member state, and we will continuously look for projects to implement here in the Gambia. But in the case of this specific component of the Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development, this brings to a close that component of the project, but we are still working with the government of the Gambia, with the people of the Gambia. We've got other projects such as the human capital development that is also under my office, and I'll be engaging Gambian authorities on that as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. This is Palmer John. I work with the point newspaper, City Africa. We realize that the Gambia pilot supported social economic stability by encouraging income opportunities in horticulture, poultry, and fisheries. We learned that over 3,000 young people on returnees were trained on technical, professional entrepreneurship and skills development. So I just want to know, among these numbers, how many of them receive financial support? And what are your overall assessment towards the achievement since this support was given to them? The other question is, haven't played an important role? Who's that question for? It can be answered either by ECOWAS or the yes. Haven't played an important role in the economic transformation of the country by contributing to the productive sector of our economy. So,
can we have her respond? Did you ask the question also? That way
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much for the question. My name is Ulrike Ebeling. I'm the country director of GIZ, German Technical Cooperation, based in Dakar, also in charge of the Gambia. And we have been implementing the project for the past 4 years, the technical cooperation of the Fund for Regional Stabilization and Development in the ECOWAS region. And we've reached out to more than 3,000 young people mainly, and supporting them in the past 4 years with different trainings and kits, starter kits, so that they can develop skills, entrepreneurial skills in the 3 sectors you just mentioned, poultry, fishery, and horticulture. And we, of course, have also accompanied our project with monitoring and evaluation measures. We are still doing that because, of course, some of the impacts you can only see after some time. They have all received the training. We have had very positive feedback on what they have achieved, what they have learned in the training, that they have also become more confident and developed their own ideas of what they want to do here in the Gambia, to stay here, to open up small businesses, to hire also other young people to work with them, and to support their families, and also to venture out further, to grow their businesses in the next years. So we will try to follow up also closely in the next years to really see what is the long-term impacts of these projects. And we are very thankful to the Gambian authorities that we were entrusted to implement this project under the ECOWAS Commission Fund.
okay. So maybe this question can go to the ECOWAS, and then from there I have another question for the Minister as well. Having played an important role in the economic transformation, so I just want to know, is there any other foreign intervention to support women and young people, especially these returns? Because we have seen that there are several returnees who have been given training for actually starting capital becomes programs, and they have the skills, they have no job. job, limited job in this country. So do you have any other intervention plans to support this people?
Thank you very much for your question. As I responded earlier, we do have a continuous engagement with the government of the Gambia. I supervise the project for human development capital, and Gambia, being a member state of ECOWAS, is also is also part of that project. And the reason why I mentioned that project, it's closely related to what this project, the FRSD, is doing, where we're focusing on building up the capacities of youth, women, and our young population overall, and putting an emphasis also on women, as I said. And through this, this human capital development, we're working with the local authorities here in the Gambia in order to get them to develop a national strategy, a national human capital, strategy, which will now help them to implement. So first of all, the first phase of the project is to accompany the local authorities to develop that strategy, and then we are here to support them and help them implement it and get it on track, where it will also target youth and provide them with skills and provide them with training, as well as women. So these two projects are similar in terms of the targeted groups, and I recall mentioning it earlier. Thank you.
Yes, this question goes to Honorable Minister. In the Gambia, mostly when projects fade out, it takes to the clubs. We have witnessed or seen some projects, especially in the agricultural sector, immediately after the project, we find it difficult to see continuity. So I just want to know what mechanism your government is taking to make sure that the project leaves a mark for continuous gains in the productive sector over time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think those are lessons learned, and as you can see, this project or intervention is focused on capacity building and giving the livelihood and skills component. Skills last for a lifetime, and those are the type of projects that are more lasting. The ability to capacitize people and give them the skills, knowledge, and expertise that they don't need to rely on people, and that they can create their own jobs. As you can see, this is the private sector approach. There is no government role here. And all we can do as a government is to create that enabling environment by bringing in opportunities through partners such as GIZ and ECOWAS, and those interface with the private citizens along the private sector line, capacitize them so that they can work on their own. We just went out to see the display of the products of this project, and we are sure today will not be the end of those products. They will continue to produce, they will continue to scale up, and that is the whole objective. We look forward to the accreting effect or the snowball effect of this intervention. Is very targeted, very capacity oriented, and that entrepreneurial drive that is in the youths is what the project is there to unleash. And we are sure those spirits can never be stopped with the completion of the project. In fact, we think and we are sure that the beneficiaries of this project are on autopilot now, that they should be on their own. They have been trained on how to raise financing. They've been trained how to record business transactions. They know how to make business proposals. So they are on their own. And this is what we will be doing going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Tanko Lejanko. I correspond for Deutsche Welle, DW, and West Africa Democracy Radio based in Dakar. My question goes to you, Madam Vice President. And from the testimonies, it has proven that this is indeed a success, and it's one way of keeping young people in the continent, bearing in mind, irregular migration. I just want to know, because I've been informed that Benin and Togo are the next countries to benefit from phase 2. I just want to know overall what West Africa is doing, ECOWAS is doing right to ensure this has been spread to other countries, because I feel it's indeed a success, and it's one way of keeping young people, engaged in the country, within the region.
So what is your question?
So the question is, ECOWAS, roadmap very short. This has been spread to other countries as well.
Okay, so if I understand your question, the role of ECOWAS in making sure that this...
FRSD is being spread to other countries.
Okay, all right. Now, funding-wise, which is, you need funding in order to implement such a project. We don't have enough funding to spread it throughout West Africa. There's a selection criteria that that is in place, and as we stated, we specifically target fragile states in order, to become beneficiaries of this fund. The reason why we selected Togo and Benin is as a result of the spillover effect. If you look at the northern part of Togo, the northern part of Benin, there have been some terrorist attacks, and it has led to the displacement of some populations and also an influx of refugees coming in from places such as Burkina Faso. So it was important to help strengthen those communities where this is taking place, and that's why both Togo and Benin have become beneficiary states for this project. Would we like to spread this all across the region? Definitely, but we need the funding to do so. And we're calling out to various partners in order to mobilize more funding, because this is a fund, and this fund can receive additional funding so that we can continue doing the great work and having such great reviews and results from beneficiaries that you've just mentioned.
Just to go on, talking about, fragilities, of course, we know other countries. I'm speaking from a regional point of view because I correspond for a regional radio. What about the likes of Burkina Faso in that case, like you've mentioned, who are also very fragile as well as Niger?
Yes, Burkina Faso definitely finds itself in a state of fragility nowadays. Looking at the current circumstances on the ground in Burkina Faso, even humanitarian workers have a hard time penetrating some of these areas in Burkina Faso. So for safety reasons, unfortunately, Burkina Faso, although it needs the support, it needs to benefit from such initiatives. Looking at the about over 2 million internally displaced people, we need to, and out of those, my understanding is that we've got about more than 40% that are young children. And who are out of school. So it's important that we put an emphasis on training them and putting them back to school and helping those who need to acquire some skills for their for their own livelihoods. But unfortunately, at this point, we're unable to reach out to Burkina Faso, and we are unable to reach out to so many other communities that are in need of such initiatives because of limited amount of funding that we have at our disposal right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Although we need it.